Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Just waiting to see who comes through. Happy Friday. Happy, I don't know, first week of January. How's everybody doing? Hey, what's up? What's up? Yes, we are officially through the first week of 2018. What's up, Darren? Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you. So, yeah, I apologize for earlier. I set up my live broadcast for a certain time, and then, of course, the last second, something happened that has to do with us moving. We've been calling a lot of places to look at houses and all this stuff, you know. So, anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I apologize for earlier. Um, you know, I have the North Node in the 10th house and the South Node in the 4th. And then I have a Sun opposite ascendant. So it's always a push and pull with career and family, career, family. It's like when I'm trying to focus on one, then the other area of life just pulls me up towards it or down. And I'm just like, it's always a tug of war. So it's like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna do some career stuff, I'm gonna do work. And then family is like, hold on, wait a second. Or a home matter is like, wait a second, hold on. We're gonna pull you away. So yeah, anyway. So thank you guys for your patience if you were waiting earlier. I'm so sorry about that, but I'm here now. Welcome to Coffee Talk. This is April with astrolada.com. So I am here to do my weekly forecast from one Friday to the next. Oh, hey, thank you. Okay, I'll have to check my email. But yeah, so from one Friday to the next, so from January 5th to January 12th, 2018, I'm here to talk about the astrological weather. So what's the weather report? What's the energy in the air? What do we need to, what are we going to be experiencing as a collective? And also what are we going to be experiencing individually, depending, excuse me, depending upon our sun, moon, or rising signs. So, oh, hey, Satara. Oh, Satara, I have to email you about something super important, girl. So I'll be getting with you shortly. Oh, hey. Oh, you guys are so nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to still be on my Friday grind here on Astrolada, just at a different time this time. But yes, so I will be talking about the astrological transits from this week to the next. And then you guys already know, I usually throw in like a celebrity example at the very end of the broadcast to kind of demonstrate how astrology works. You know, we see people who are in the public eye, we know their lives, and we know their personalities. And I like to use them as like tools for teaching astrology, you know, for showing everybody how it actually works. So yeah, we're going to do that. So for Coffee Talk, I told you guys I do take suggestions from you guys, from viewers. If you leave them like in the comments or in the chat, I take your suggestions. And someone suggested that I look at the celebrity couple, Sofia Vergara and Joe, please forgive me, Joe, Manganiello, something like that. Joe M, okay? I can't even read my own handwriting. But Sofia Vergara and her new husband, well, they've been married for like 2 years now. So talking about them as a couple, as a celebrity couple, to see how their energy matches up, what challenges may they have as a couple, you know, stuff like that. We're going to take a deep look at their birth charts. So yes, happy Friday, everybody. Good vibes only allowed up in Hera. So let's talk about what energy is lingering, what energy is fading, and then we'll get into some exact dates of some transits. Right now, so we've had Venus conjunct Saturn for a couple weeks, kind of brought a little bit of a Debbie Downer feeling for some people, not all of us, but some people, because Venus is like how you enjoy yourself, you know, and it's like the enjoyments of the material world, what you spend your money on, getting out shopping, enjoying good food, all that stuff is ruled by Venus. And when Saturn is conjunct, Saturn is like a heavy influence to where it kind of anchors Venus down, doesn't really allow her to have as much fun as maybe she would like to. So it's brought some people's spirits down, you know, it has. But for some people, it's been all about just planning and goals and long-term stuff. An interesting discussion came up during that Venus and Saturn conjunction in Capricorn. You know, Capricorn rules status, right? It rules status. That can mean financial status. It rules the long term. It rules your legacy. And in a way, marriage it represents some of those things, you know? And so over the holidays, I don't know if you guys saw, but I can't, who was it that had that sale? So some company, some store had a sale on engagement rings that were $25. So, oh my God, the internet's been going berserk. Like a couple of my Astro homegirls have been posting things on it. And it's been so interesting to hear their opinions, everyone else's opinions. We've all given our input on it, on this whole $25 ring thing. And, you know, people have made some really interesting points. But you see, that type of thing is represented. It can be represented by Capricorn, because like I said, it's Capricorn is status, it's money. A lot of people look at an engagement ring as a status symbol. You know, they put emphasis on the value of it to display the value of their marriage or their relationship, or this is what I am worth as a woman. So therefore, I deserve to have a $75,000 ring. I know that's exaggerating, but still, I don't deserve a $25 ring. And it's like, really? And then some people are arguing, you know what? It's not that. It's the thought that counts. Like, somebody actually wants to marry you. Okay. Can you just take that into consideration and not the material thing? So that was like a really big debate that's been happening with Venus and Capricorn, and Venus represents feminine. Capricorn represents stuff like that, like the material wealth and your status. And then Saturn is like an anchoring down, kind of a restricting thing. So Saturn restricting Venus is something that's kind of like cheaper in price, you know? So yeah, that's been like something that I've noticed that's come up, and it's been really interesting discussing that stuff. But yeah, so that is fading now. Oh my gosh, Venus is getting away from Saturn's grips. You know, now she's like, oh, I'm free to be in Capricorn and just enjoy the fruits of my labor, you know? So anyhow, yeah, so that's fading away. Thank goodness. Also, on the 6th of January, we have Mercury in a trine aspect to Uranus. And Uranus actually just went direct this past week. On the 3rd of January, Uranus went direct. Uranus, the planet of weird. Oh my gosh, I love Uranus. That's why I'm wearing one of my favorite sweaters. If you guys can see, it says weird vibes and it has the alien on it. And it says weird vibes all huge on the back too. I love it. Uranus's energy is said to be weird and alien-like and very out of this world and different, you know? And has anybody felt the shift of Uranus going direct? Because while it's retrograde, it's kind of like the weirdness is suppressed, you know? And then when it goes direct, it's like, hey, all the weirdness is back in the house. I know that's how I felt. Like, I have Uranus retrograde in my natal chart. But to be honest, when it went forward again, especially when it was at a standstill, like, you know, when Uranus is when a planet is starting to go, get ready to station direct, when it's stationed, that means it's sitting there, and that energy is super duper potent. So it's like being beamed down upon us, like, so strongly. And I have felt that this week, this Uranian energy, where I'm just like, wild hair, don't care, you know, my weird sweater, wearing different things and stuff. I feel like totally in my Uranian element. It's awesome. So tell me if you guys have felt the shift of Uranus going direct. And, you know, Uranus, it can be disruptive though. I mean, I love the planet Uranus. But of course, with every planet, with every sign, everything in astrology, there is always like a darker manifestation and a lighter manifestation, you know? And I guess the darker side of Uranus is now it's going to be like more disruptive. Wherever you have Aries in your chart, there's a possibility of that, to where you'll have some sudden changes happen that maybe you didn't expect. And some people love unexpected changes. Some people are just like, they thrive on the element of surprise. And so that Uranus energy in being direct is like, No sweat for them. It's like, bring it on, bring on the change, you know, bring on the sudden and the weird. But for some people, they like to plan things out, like, you know, earth signs and water signs. Water signs can worry a lot. And then earth signs, they are stuck in their ways and in their routines and ways of doing things. So Uranus direct may be a little bit more difficult for those signs. But air signs keep things moving. Fire signs keep things moving. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably enjoying more. They enjoy Uranus's sudden energy of sudden change a little bit more than the other signs. So yeah, me personally, I'm mostly all earth and water. So therefore, I'm like, I like to plan my life out. Uranus, don't run a tornado through it or shoot lightning bolts at it, please. But he's still gonna do it. You just gotta go with the flow, you know? So yes, Uranus is now direct. But now going in date order of what's upcoming is on the 6th of January, Mercury is trine Uranus. This energy is really cool because Mercury is how we speak, how we think. It's even how we communicate on social media, like on our phones and stuff, you know? And so when that is in a combination with Uranian energy that rules reaching big masses of people through outlets like the internet, like social media, through technological devices, you know, and also Uranus rules like geniusness, like mad geniusness, these ideas that just come to you in a flash. And it's like, ooh, I have this idea. Like, I better write it down because as quickly as it flashes through here is as quickly as it can leave in a flash, right? So it's coming up with these brilliant ideas. Sporadically is Uranus and Mercury trine. Mercury trine Uranus, you know, we are just easing up out of a Mercury shadow period. And then we've got Mercury trine Uranus. Hello. That can also lead to, for some people, maybe some technology fails or like, you know, stuff suddenly happening with their devices and communication just suddenly going awry. That can still happen for some people, to be honest. And it's like, oh my gosh, when is Mercury just going to be normal, right? Just normal. And we could just communicate and things go smoothly with technology. Don't worry, it's coming up. We will get there. I'll get there in a second. But yeah, it's going to be trine Uranus for a few days. You know, Mercury moves pretty quickly. It's like the quickest moving planet is Mercury. So, well, and then we have the moon, but the moon is technically not a planet. It's a luminary if you want to get scientific and nerdy. But Mercury is the fastest moving planet. All right. So it's only going to be trine Uranus for a few days. So for some of us, crazy, awesome, genius ideas of a spark in our thoughts and everything. And maybe being a little kooky, being a little weird, you know, being a little alien-like in how we think and express ourselves and laughing at things that are just different and joking. Like, that's what I picture when I picture like Mercury and Uranus like working together, how they work together. It could be fun like that. So that's on the 6th. And then also on the 6th, we have Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Scorpio. Hold up. I have to take a sip before I talk about this. Okay. So Mars and Jupiter have been dancing around next to each other in the sign of Scorpio. Close in degree, but not quite exact at the same degree. Well, on the 6th, they're going to come to the same degree. And here's the good and the bad scoop with Jupiter and Mars conjunct in Scorpio. Okay, so now Mars is action, as most of us know. Mars is our action. It's getting out and actually doing things, right? That's Mars. And Jupiter is having lots of faith and optimism in what you're doing, and just having faith that everything's going to work out and you don't really have to look back or think twice. You just are confident, you just know, and you just jump and go for it. Jupiter is also overdoing things sometimes. It could be overdoing stuff. And Mars sometimes could be anger and aggression. So what not to do with the combination of these energies together is to act out in any type of overly aggressive way. And Scorpio is an energy that it has a reputation for being a little bit on the darker side of life. You know, sometimes it can be not always 100%, but it can go that route. So Jupiter and Mars and Scorpio, just be very mindful of your actions. Like, you know, if you feel in any type of, and there's my son back there going, being violent towards a video game he's playing. And I was just going to say, like, don't allow yourself to get violent. Okay. I know that doesn't apply to everybody. Some people are all peace, love, hippie, and all that stuff. They never get that way. But this is an influence that can take over anyone pretty much. Don't allow yourself to get violent, to act out in a way that's like you didn't think before you did, you know, you didn't look before you leap, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Belinda says she's gonna hide out at home. I don't think it's gonna be that bad to where it's like scary. You gotta hide in your house all googly eyed looking out of the curtains. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Not necessarily. It's just, I give you guys the potential bad, if you will, things that can happen with transits, just so you're aware and you can have control over yourself and your own self and your own situations. That's why I gave that to you, not to make you all paranoid. So yeah, don't allow yourself to go too far with anything action oriented. That can mean even good stuff, fun stuff, like going bungee jumping, skydiving. Make sure all your equipment is in order if you do that. Anything that's like fun and action oriented, athletic. Don't feel like you're just so on top of the world to where you don't take safety precautions. That's what I'm saying, you know. But for some people, it can mean like doing some active things that are fun, and really enjoying them to the absolute fullest. It can be that. So yeah, Mars and Jupiter and Scorpio. For some people, you know, Scorpio, it does rule intimacy. So maybe it can be taking some sort of fun, enjoyable actions that are, you know, intimacy related, whatever that means for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it could be a good time. Or it could be something dangerous. You know, it just depends upon you and what you're around, the environment that you're in, what you allow yourself to do, the actions you allow yourself to take. Daniel says Jupiter and Mars are on top of his natal Saturn in Scorpio at 15 degrees, and his temper came out yesterday. He felt like breaking something. Ooh, you're not the only one. I've been hearing a few people that I know like closely being the same way, and it's been a little crazy. You know, I've had to actually talk a couple of people down of doing a few things that are those type of actions, you know, like, hey, calm yourself down, like think logically, because Scorpio is water energy. Water energy is emotions in astrology. So this is like you know, being a little bit too much with your emotional based actions. You know, you don't want to harm anybody or anything. But being on top of that, Saturn, that could be frustration, because Saturn won't let you allow it, Daniel, won't allow you to be out of control. Saturn is control. So you probably internally felt that. And then Saturn's like, no, no, no. So it's like frustrating. But thank goodness for that Saturn, though, keeping you calm and tame, though, Daniel, for real. All right. Oh, I hear you on that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's what's Jupiter and Mars and Scorpio conjunct. But it can be also what I've noticed. I'm a Scorpio, and you know, Mars and Jupiter, Mars can be laser focused on your goals and what you want, and Jupiter can have you so like optimistic and believing in what it is that you want to go after. So it can help that. It can give some people that type of a vibe. I know it's done that for me, where I'm just like, I really totally believe in what it is that I want to do, and I just feel like focusing straight forward, like only concentrating on that. And Jupiter can represent goals, so really having this arrow that's pointed towards your goals, you know where you want to go, you're just like passionate about getting there, you know. So it can also manifest in that way too. Oh, hey girl, hey Emily, what's up? Let's see, what's your name? Melton. I am going to a yoga retreat on a mountain resort. That's a really good way to, really good thing to do with this energy too of Mars and Jupiter, is to kind of keep it under control. And you're going to a retreat on a mountain, and Jupiter is travel too. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Okay. And we're also still coming off of that intense full moon in Cancer. Oh my goodness. It was very intense, and it made an aspect to Mars and Jupiter. So I've known especially Cancers have been like off the chain, you know, with their emotions and stuff. A lot of people have, though, not just cancers. Like everybody around me has been messaging me this week, like, oh, I feel so emotional, this and that. And I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. Like I've tried to be more of the don't worry, be happy Jupiterian person, you know, to be like, no, guys, listen, like, you know, there's more optimism in the air than there is pessimism. So just tap into it, you know? So yeah, on the 9th, this is when the sun is in a conjunction with Pluto. So this is pretty intense too. So you guys keep yourselves under control, you know, keep yourselves under control. If you have any type of feelings of acting out in any way that's like potentially harmful to anyone else, you know, based on your intense feelings, really try to be aware of that this coming week. And keep yourself under control. Like go to do yoga on a mountain or something if you can. Like that one person contributed to the chat, you know, just really do some things to keep yourself calm, because there is a lot of intensity in the air. And this sun conjunct Pluto does add to it. Sun and Pluto together, well, the sun and Pluto are both energies of power. They're both energies of power. The sun wants to shine and wants to be seen and recognized and appreciated and celebrated. And Pluto is a silent power. It's like behind the scenes, like someone who just walks into a room, they don't say anything, and you just feel their vibe, that there's somebody that could be feared and respected. Okay, that is Pluto. So those two energies coming together, it can be pretty intense. It can be pretty intense. Sorry, I was reading something someone said in the chat. But yeah, it's very intense energy. And what it's good for, though, is doing things like extreme research, especially with Capricorn being involved. So Capricorn energy is all about like when you find information, you get down to the source, right? You get down to the source. You don't just take surface level anything, right? No surface level info are you going to take it and run with it. You're going to be like, no, where did this actually come from? I'd like to find the original author, or, you know, stuff like that. So because of that, and then Pluto can rule like deep research and investigation. So yeah, that's what this energy can be very, very good for, is if you're interested in a topic or passionate about something, you can really dive in and research it, you know, and investigate down to like the history of things. It's really good for like searching the history on things. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's the sun conjunct Pluto. Sun conjunct Pluto can bring power struggles, though, to be honest. For some people, it can bring power struggles, especially with people who are in positions of power themselves. You know, sometimes some of us may feel our own sense of power and authority is like enhanced and increased with this transit. And therefore, if anybody tries to tell us what to do, oh, no, they're going to hear it from us, right? So we can be feeling like that. Some of us can be, to where we challenge authority. We could ourselves be like, respect my authority, or people could be like that towards us, and we're just like, no, like I'm powerful too. Like you can't just try to trample all over me, you know? So yeah. Betsy says, my Cappy wife has to get her butt in gear with a case she's working on. Ooh, so that means she probably she does a case. I would assume that means she has to really dig for the right information to get that case in order, right, Betsy? Mm-hmm. Yes. Emily says, right, I have been researching who was liking pics whilst okay. Yeah, that's really funny, Emily. Yeah, you're researching who is liking all his pics. Okay, all your man's pictures. Yes, researching that, like, who, like, yeah, we do become very like inquisitive in that type of way, very curious about like what lies beneath the surface around a Pluto transit like that. The sun conjunct Pluto. Yeah, we can become suspicious too. Like, not all of us, but some people can become a lot more suspicious and worried about what's the underlying real deal beneath something that's happening or what someone's saying. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, she's a meteorologist. Ooh, good for her. So yeah, with the sun conjunct Pluto, try not to be paranoid, try not to be violent or anything, because Pluto can sometimes be that type of way, you know, to where you're so passionate about something, but it's a passion to where you are so intense that you may like hurt something or someone, you know, so really don't allow yourself to go there. Yeah, and then like I said, it's good for research. Sun conjunct Pluto, great for research, investigation, getting down to the nitty gritty details. Yeah, search back in history on some things too. It's really good for that. So Mercury moves into Capricorn on the 11th, and I will go through every sign to let you guys know how Mercury and Cappy is going to be affecting you as individuals. So Mercury and Capricorn. So Mercury is how we communicate. It's how we think. And in Capricorn, people are going to be so much more discerning. Oh my gosh. And like skeptical too, like really asking you to cite your sources and your resources. Where did you get that information from? Really? Like, I'd like to see where, like, you know, it's that type of thing. Like always thinking like everything is so like, you like you're suspicious and like, I don't know if I trust that. I don't know if it's professional or not. Like that type of thing is Mercury and Cappy. With Mercury and Capricorn, it's one of those energies where that emoji that does this, that emoji right there is definitely a Capricorn one. So Mercury and Capricorn will have us all kind of thinking at things in that way, looking at things in that perspective, to where we are not going to accept just the surface level when it comes to people giving us information, when it comes to talking to people. Like, it's not going to fly, you know? So yes, if you're normally not the type of person to give details, okay, people are going to be asking for those details of Mercury's and Cappy, asking you for the details. And like I said, your sources of information, where are you getting this from? Yes. Autoestima. I don't think I said that right. Yes. That emoji right there. We're all going to be thinking that way and talking that way when Mercury's in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn is really great for, once again, Capricorn is all about history, foundations of things. And also it could be about financial stability and longevity, financial investments that are going to last you a long time. Okay. So with Mercury in Capricorn, it's a really good time to plan and organize those types of things. And then with the Sun conjunct Pluto also, you know, Pluto is a ruling planet of Scorpio, which rules taxes, insurance, life insurance, inheritance, estates, and all that stuff. So it may be a good week to kind of talk about and think about and plan out those types of things, especially when Mercury goes into Cap, because right when it goes into Capricorn, you know, it's going to be in a conjunction with Saturn in Capricorn. So that's like uber Capricorn energy with the way we're thinking, the way we're expressing ourselves through communication and all that stuff. I would say to avoid when Mercury goes into Capricorn and is conjunct Saturn, it could be a heavy influence. Mercury's the mind, Saturn is heaviness. It's like, no, life is hard. Things have a long process, you know. So that can, some people, they thrive on that and it helps them out. But for some people, they're not used to that heavy weight. So it can make them kind of feel depressed in a way, to be honest. I know we'll probably get thumbs down as soon as I said that. Oh, she's being so negative. No, she's being real. Okay. Saturn can sometimes pinpoint times where people feel a little more depressed than usual because they feel like life is difficult, because Saturn is not trying to show you that life is difficult. Not necessarily. It's like, there's a process to things, there's order to things, there's responsibility, and we have to do these things first before we can get to the fun parts, you know? But some people wallow in that. They let it like weigh them down to where they're like, oh my God, I can't have fun. I can't go out and do that. No, it's like Saturn is like a boss or a father, to where if you get your work done, you can go out and play, right? If you get your work done, you get rewarded with a paycheck. So you got to think of Saturn transits in that way, that first of all, this too shall pass. They don't last that long, especially not a Mercury over Saturn. Mercury, he doesn't have time for that. He moves so fast. He'll be away from Saturn within a few days. Okay. And also, it can really help us to get real life plans in order. Mercury conjunct Saturn and Cappy. Is it a good time to start writing a novel? You know, that depends on where it is in your chart. If you have Capricorn in the 3rd house or the 9th house, definitely. And just in general, Mercury and Saturn, yeah, is a good time to start doing something like that, because Saturn really likes to put things in a position to where they solidify, they really do manifest. You know, it's serious. As Mercury could be like, yeah, 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 all day long. Yeah, saying this, saying that, over here, over there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Words just spitting out. But conjunct Saturn and in Capricorn, it's like, no, we're not just going to say whatever. We are going to be doing something and making it happen. Okay, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be about it. All right. Anais says, are you doing individual? If you mean over in the live broadcast, I will be doing them for every sign. Yes, for Mercury and Capricorn only. If you mean just generally, yes, I do take clients for private readings. So the info should be below and in the I button once this is recorded. Hope that answers your question, Anais. Thank you. Saturn likes teaching. Yes, your lesson. Yes, Saturn does like teaching. Some people can, when Mercury is in Cappy in general, and especially conjunct Saturn, really be on that lecturing tip though. Really be on that lecturing. Like, so if this is you, try not to overdo it with that to where it's annoying to people and they really feel like you're just putting so much pressure on them for like no freaking reason, right? When there's not a lecture really required. If you want to just be like, now this is how you put the cap on a pen. You gotta take it off and you gotta look at it and you got no, putting the cap on a dang pen doesn't require that. Okay, I'm just saying, like, you don't have to lecture everybody on everything. So keep that in mind with this Mercury and Cappy transit. And if you are a person that's not about lecturing or getting lectured, you will have to probably deal with some people lecturing you during this coming week. I'm just saying, and you'll just have to remember my words. This too shall pass. You know, just get through it. Just be like, yeah, yeah. Listen, I used to have when I worked a regular job in an office with all the office politics and all that stuff. I had 2 Capricorn bosses, right? One was a manager, the other one was the boss, and oh my gosh. When there were transits through the sign of Capricorn, that's when they would say, oh, we're just going to have a short little meeting in the office to go over these accounts. And I'm like, oh, okay, I made all my notes. I'm prepared and everything, right? I go into the office. I'm prepared for what I thought we were going to talk about. Then they go back over. They're like, okay, they're picking at all these things. And I'm like, I wasn't prepared to talk about that. They want to talk about the time. How much time did it take for this to be done 3 months ago? And all these details that I'm like, oh my God, this is so irrelevant. Like, why? I thought we were going to be talking about like money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people who are very Saturnian will get uber Saturnian around this time. And if you are a person that's like, I'm allergic to that, you may have to deal with it, but it's not for too long. Just know that. But yes, if you are a teacher though, this is a wonderful time if you are in any type of teaching or training position to really get down to the most important details to really help people to learn what they need to learn and stay focused on teaching, you know, on what the agenda really is. Let's see. You hate office politics. Yeah, me too. I always fall asleep in meetings. If only I could do them outside. You know what? We're twinsies with that. Meetings, I don't know. I don't know if it's my progressed Gemini, but I can't with not unless there's like a slideshow and there's all these like colorful like displays of graphs and somebody is really entertaining when they're talking. Otherwise, especially with my Capricorn bosses, it was clear eyes, dry eyes. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. You get your attendance, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. Oh, Lisa said, I just got a job teaching English online. Hey, that's awesome. Cappy season is definitely a good time to really thrive in that area. Daisha says, Saturn is in my first house. And my husband always says I lecture him. Oh my gosh. Saturnian people do like to lecture. It's just a given. Like I tell you guys probably every broadcast, so you're probably tired of me repeating myself, but I have a lot of Saturnian and Capricorn people around me very closely, and I see their behavior every single day, and they always love to lecture or find a way to show you something new, like to teach you something. But everything is a teachable moment to a Capricorn or a Saturnian person. Saturn in the first house, you know. Yeah, one of my sons has Saturn in his first house. And even though he's little, he likes to tell me sometimes, Mommy, you're not doing this right. Right, Munchkin? Yeah, he's nodding his head. Yeah, he knows it. Anyway, Sophia, Saturn is in my 10th house. Yeah, so you're like you probably have like a real deal Saturnian vibe. So you probably will enjoy a lot of this abundance of Capricorn and Saturn energy in the air and probably put out your best self, your best work and everything. Yeah, awesome. Heidi, you're about to get your coffee. Yes, girl, get your coffee because I'm gonna start going through the horoscopes. Then we're gonna get to the celebrity chart of Sofia Vergara and her husband Joe. I don't want to mess up his name. I'm talking too fast these days because I'm having third house transits, so I'm very Gemini. Blah, 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 blah. So I will say this man's name too fast and mess it up. But we are going through their synastry charts. So yeah. Karen says, I have trouble sleeping. Is that Mars and Scorpio? You're a double Scorpio. How are you a double Scorpio? If you are a Scorpio ascendant, we are having, or sun, we're having third house transits. Third house energy, like I just said, it's very Gemini-like. It's very Tasmanian devil. You talk fast, you think fast. Your mind is really buzzing around and spinning like a tornado. And that can lead to restlessness and insomnia. But it's temporary. It's temporary. If so, yeah. And also Mars can give you a lot of energy, physical energy, to where it's very hard for you to settle down. So that could be, but the transits don't last forever. I lost who was saying that. Oh, Karen. Oh, hey, what's up, Karen? Oh, I recognize you, girl. Hey, yes. Those can bring restlessness to Karen. And thank you for being in the chat today. Okay. All right. So, let me talk about Mercury and Capricorn for every sign. So I already went through how it'll affect us all as a collective, what the energy is like just on a general level. But for all of us, it'll kind of bring us different energies in different areas of life. So I like to say that wherever Mercury transits, that's where you will be a busybody, right? Your mind is going to be moving so fast. You're going to be feeling restless and like you got to do a lot of things. You'll be communicating a lot more in this area. You'll be using your hands, talking, thinking a lot more, and wherever Mercury transits for you. Sorry. So let's go through every sign for Mercury and Capricorn. Then we'll get into coffee talk. Somebody said celebrity gossip, and they spelled it like that. I love that. Joe Gonzalez, no, she married, Sofia Vergara married Joe Gonzalez when she was like 20 years old. Now it's Joe, oh, Lord have mercy. How do I, what's his, Manganiello, something like that. Okay, Manganiello. Okay, something along those lines. He's an actor, all right? He was in Magic Mike. He was in a Spider-Man movie and also True Blood. Yeah, that's what I know. And in the Smurfs movie, he provided a voice. That dude, he's an actor. Okay, so you're going to be the most busiest wherever Mercury is at. Mercury in Capricorn, someone just asked, how long does this transit last? Mercury will be in Capricorn up until the last day of January. So it's going to switch into Aquarius on January 31st, just in time for that eclipse on the Aquarius and Leo axis. So I can't wait to talk about that with you guys at that time. But yeah, so it'll be there. It starts on the 11th. So it's only for 20 days that Mercury will be in Capricorn. Only 20 days, okay? And only for like the first few days will it be in a conjunction with Saturn, like the first like 4 or 5 days or something. So, oh, he is hot. Ooh, yeah, he's a good looking man. All right, so let's go through Mercury and Capricorn for every sign. Where you're going to be a busybody, where's your mind going to be at for the most part? So for Aries, Mercury and Capricorn is going to be in your 10th house. And we've got the sun there for most of the month. We've got Pluto there. But Pluto's been there. We've got Saturn there. And then let's see, when does Venus? Oh, Venus will be there for just like a little bit. So for a couple days, yeah, we're going to have all this Cappy energy and Mercury's going to join in the mix. So for Aries people, this is in your house of career. This is in your house of career and your public appearance, your how people know you socially, like what's your title, like what do people when they talk about you, Aries, like, oh yeah, I know Aries, they are a blah 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 blah, you know. So yeah, that's the energy that the 10th house brings. So your mind is going to be there. So if you have any career plans or changes that you want to make within your career, Aries, this transit will be very helpful for you. Your mind is going to be so on that career, so on that, like, whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you want to be known for or as, you're going to have tunnel vision towards it. Mercury in the 10th house can have you, you know, the 10th house can also be like, if you're on social media, it's one of those houses to where people are always like, they have their eyes on you, or, you know, they're in contact with you. It's public, right? Dealing with the public. So this can mean like, if you have any type of public like project or communication to make with people, you're going to be making a lot more of that. Mercury organizes, and especially being in Capricorn, it's about plans. So career plans are going to be where Aries are the most busiest over the next, well, from the 11th until the 31st of January. So yeah, Aries, it's going to be assisting you with career stuff. So good luck to you guys. So next up is Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. How's Mercury in Capricorn going to be affecting you? Where are you going to be the busiest? So for Tauruses, this is in your 9th house. So as I mentioned before, there's already lots, like an abundance and a wealth of Capricorn energy that's all in your 9th house. So if you're a Taurus that's a teacher, or you are in school or learning somehow, some way yourself, Mercury is going to help to increase those abilities and increase that focus. So you will be much more focused towards your studies, or much more focused towards teaching others. And I'm like, ooh, this is good. This is good. I'm a Taurus sun, and I do teach astrology to a degree. I do have one student so far in a beta class, and I'm trying to develop a serious, like, class, you know, to really be a teacher. So it can help you with that if you're a Taurus and that applies to you too. Or it could be just plans and goals that you want to achieve, that you dream about, that you're like, yeah, I would really want to go here or go there or do this in life. You know, that's also 9th house stuff, and having like an optimism and faith and making that happen. It's also travel too. So some Tauruses could be really focused on travel, making travel plans, and yeah, really focused on that as well. And maybe actually traveling, because Mercury can rule small movement, short distance movement and travel. So yeah, Taurus is maybe enjoying some of that right now. That's very, very awesome. How can it be for all sun, moon, and rising? Yeah, it's just, if you are a sun, moon, or rising in the signs I'm mentioning, then that's how it affects you based on that sign. So you got to look at all three. They do all apply. Darren says, I'm a Taurus sun, and I'm teaching my family astrology and learning more. Yes, go Darren. Utilize this energy, bask in it for teaching and being a guru. All right. It will only be in the 9th house for the ascendant sign. Well, yes and no. Yes, it will be, but also if you do a solar chart, it's 9th from your sun. If you do a lunar, if you do it based on what you're thinking about, what you're feeling from an emotional perspective, it is 9th from your moon. So you still look at it from those perspectives. All right. So next up is Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, or rising. How is Mercury and Capricorn affecting you? How is it keeping you busy? Okay, where's your mind going to be at? And this is your ruler, Gemini. So your ruling planet is going to be in the 8th house. So this is Geminis, you guys have to be pretty serious right now, to where there's like the energy of Capricorn. It does bring out a little bit more seriousness in Geminis, because normally you guys like to keep things light and moving very quickly. You don't like to dwell on things. But then again, the 8th house is all about depth. Okay. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, okay, now it's time to really think about deep topics and deep subjects. And when I'm chattering, I'm not just chattering mindless, meaningless chatter. It's like about, well, what are my thoughts, fears, desires, and what are yours, you know? And it's also managing and organizing things that have to do with sharing your resources with another person, Gemini. So it could be lots more discussions about that, lots more organizations of joint resources, joint finances, and also intimacy. There could be some intimacy stuff that you either want to participate in more and talk about more, Gemini. Okay, all right. Or it could be that, I don't know what this was. I don't know. I'm just being weird and Uranian. But participating in that, talking about it, maybe fixing some issues if you have intimacy issues within a relationship, you know, really, really getting down to the bottom of those things. And yeah, just you guys love to talk to people, and the discussions that you guys will have with people will be so much more interesting when Mercury's in the 8th. Trust me, you will be so much more inquisitive about like real serious things. Like Geminis love to get the tea, right? They love that. So the serious tea, like, no, what's really going on? Like you guys will really be diving down deep into some stuff like that. So that is Mercury in Capricorn for Gemini people. I wish I could. Oh, you know what? If I do establish astrology classes here on this platform, I will definitely, of course, let you guys know. For right now, I do have some webinars. I only have one webinar that's on Lada so far, and I have the link below. And then I also have one that I'm developing that'll be coming out this spring. So stay tuned for that. So next up is Cancer, Sun, Moon, or rising sign. Cancer, how is Mercury in Capricorn affecting you guys? So you will be the most busiest and wanting to talk a lot more about relationships. So if you are in a relationship, you're in a marriage, you're in a partnership, like a serious boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you have, you will want to talk to your partner more. You'll want more of their attention. You'll want it to be on you. You'll want to have those one-on-one conversations, you know. And if you are not in a relationship, well, then you'll just want to talk to people more in general. If you are not in a relationship, maybe you'll be thinking about a relationship more, like, oh, I wish I had a boo. I wish I had somebody to kind of cuddle with and have some hot chocolate or something during this winter season, you know? I wish I had someone to bounce ideas off of, like, what do you think about this, babe? What do you think of that? You know, Cancers will be wanting a lot more of that during this Mercury transit. But yeah, like I said, if you don't have your own relationship, it could just be people in general, others. This is the house of others. So it doesn't have to be like a serious relationship, a love interest, just chatting it up with people. I notice when Mercury transits my 7th house, that's when I'll even have girlfriends, okay? Like just my homegirls, like, hey, do you want to go here? You want to go there? You want to go to lunch? You want to go shopping? You want to go get coffee? You want to go talk? You know, all that stuff is like Mercury in the 7th house. It's the populace, it's people, all right? So you'll be much more talkative during that time. So next up is Leo, Sun, Moon, or rising. How is Mercury in Capricorn affecting you guys for about 20 days? This is going to be in your 6th house. And Leos, like once again, with all the other signs, there's already lots and lots of Capricorn energy happening. Mercury's joining for a little bit. And so it's going to add more of like your thoughts and what you're doing and what you're processing and organizing is in that area of life, the 6th house. So what's that? That's work. Leos are working hard right now, okay? They go hard, all right, when it comes to their jobs at this time. So Leos, you guys could be working overtime. You guys could be some of the most hardest working people in the zodiac during this time of year. You know, if you don't volunteer yourself for it, well, then you may be called towards working more hours, doing some overtime, you know. Also, you know, this is the house of organization in general of your life, like getting your life. You know what I'm saying? Like where things are placed in the house as far as your belongings, the order in which things are done or placed. So you guys may be more on that tip, like cleaning, like being a clean freak. Most of the Leo people I know, they don't like to do stuff like that. They're like, oh, I should just be sitting back, looking beautiful and being fanned with eating grapes and bonbons and chocolate. Like I shouldn't have to do anything. But even Leos, you guys will be in that mode, in that zone where you just want your environment to be organized and to have a clear mind. You know, a clear environment is a clear mind. So you guys may be really into that at this time, or it could just be work, just working a lot more for Leo people. So you will have a lot more clientele and a lot more customers when Mercury is in your 6th house, and more job duties can be given to you as well, Leo. So yes, get that work. All right, so next up is Virgo. Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. You're a Virgo, huh, mister? Mm-hmm. Yep, my son. Still on winter break, eating cereal right next to me. Yeah, he knows he's a Virgo. Mommy tells him all the time. So Virgo, Mercury in Capricorn is in your 5th house. So all this other energy in Capricorn is also in that area for you. And this could actually be some fun for Virgos. Like the 5th house is your heart's desire, whatever makes you feel like a kid again, like laughing and joking and, just having a good time. So Mercury there is going to have you thinking and talking a lot more about those things. Also, it's creativity. So Virgos could be really creative at this time. And Mercury is your ruling planet too. So wherever your ruling planet transits, that's how you can be feeling too. So you can be feeling in a way that's overall like very 5th house, that's very like, let's get out and have some fun. I really want to do something that's romantic. I have all these creative ideas and I want to get them out. I want to work on my creative projects. I want to get back into my hobbies, that type of thing. So that's where Virgos may be the most busiest. 5th house is also children. So Virgos, if you have children, you may be much more focused on them, speaking to them, talking to them, doing activities with them, a lot more busier with the kids. All right. So next up is Libra. Libra, sun, moon, or rising sign. And my Munchkin is a Libra rising, aren't you, Munchkin? Yep, he's a Libra rising. So Libra, Mercury in Capricorn is going to be in your 4th house. So we've already got all the other planets in Capricorn there, hanging out, influencing your home life. And Mercury in the mix is going to just add more of like a busyness, so your mind is going to be on your family. Maybe talking to more family members, calling them up, people that you haven't spoken to in a while, conversing with them. They could be contacting you, Libra, just having all kinds of family members. Hey, Libra, what's up? Haven't heard from you in a while, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Munchkin, do you want to hang out with your family more since you're a Libra? You want to go see your cousins, talk to your cousins? Yeah, he's verifying. He's one of y'all, so. I don't know if you guys could hear him because my microphone's like ninja hidden. But yes, family. It's all about family. It's all about home. Moving as well. Both my sons are Libras and we are actually moving. Like I said, Mercury is where you can be very busy. So some of you guys are focused on moving, can be doing things like packing and stuff like that, because we're going to have a new moon in Capricorn. That's a new moon in your house of the home. So some Libras are preparing for new changes within their home, new changes within the family. That means actually going to a new home. So Mercury is going to help to initiate the newness. Be like, okay, what do we need to do? Let's make some lists, da 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 da, da da da, what do we need to discuss? All that stuff. Jeanette says Libra sun and she has a house for sale. See, managing and organizing the sale of a home. Yes, that can definitely be Mercury in the 4th house. Or like I said, just chatting and stuff like that. Oh, EAK, good night. Peace out. Thanks for coming through. So yeah, for Libras, home life, family life, you're going to be so super busy there for about 20 days. Okay. And then any other energy left in Capricorn, still going to initiate changes within that area of life for you. All right. So next up is Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising sign. How is Mercury in Capricorn affecting you guys? So this is in your 3rd house. So this is a Mercury house, Mercury energy, 3rd house. They're like the same thing. They represent the same stuff. So Scorpios, you guys have already been feeling extra communicative, right? Like extra super communicative. I know I have. Like, I'm sure you guys can notice I've been like, I'm talking a little bit faster and like a little bit more mercurial and all that stuff. That's because of transits through the third house, because I'm a Scorpio rising. So Scorpios, yes, we're going to be even more busy minded, chatty, witty. I've been loving being quick witted. Tell me, Scorpios, have you guys been feeling that? Like the jokes, the memes, the witty comebacks. I've been loving it so much. So much fun. But Mercury in the third house, honestly, it can cause some restlessness because this is Mercury in the house of the mind. So your mind is going to be like, oh my God, like going like all over the place, right? So it's best to do your best to still stay organized. I was going to say Gemini. We are acting like Geminis right now, though. Scorpio, make lists of what you have to do, because you will have the urge to multitask, do multiple things at once. And that's cool if you can manage and maintain that. But sometimes that can lead to unfinished projects, like starting one thing and then doing this and doing this. And then, oh, I forgot to go back to this because now I'm on to the next thing. And now I'm on to the next thing. Oh my gosh, I don't want to take a step back. You know, stuff like that can happen. Mishaps with communication and with trying to multitask different tasks, different things that you have to do. So yeah, definitely be careful with that. Maybe make lists. There's list apps that we have in our phones now, alerts that you can have to remind you of things, because also your mind may be moving so fast, Scorpio, that you can be forgetful of things. So, but yeah, for anything involving writing, speaking, teaching, oh my gosh, it's so like really dope energy for that, to have ultra mega superpowers for communication. Yes. Okay, which ones should you consider? Sun, moon. Okay, so once again, for any of these that I'm talking about, the houses, guys, it's your rising sign is the most accurate. Also, if you do a solar chart, you look at the perspective of the sun, that's accurate. And then the moon is also like, it's last because it's more like feelings and perspective on things. But you can still see some things manifest outside of your mind. Even with looking at the transits from your moon sign. So look at all three, your sun, moon, and rising sign. All right. Okay. Time to get organized. Yes, it is, Sophia. Yes, it is. So next up is Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. How's Mercury and Capricorn going to affect you guys for about 20 days? Well, this is going to be in your second house for Sagittarius. Okay. So Saggies, you guys have already had Saturn start hitting up your second house. The sun is there, Saturn's there, Venus is there for a little bit. And now Mercury will join. So it's really time to focus on your finances, but from a long-term perspective. And I always say this about Saggies every time, but just in case some of y'all are new, I'm just going to give you my perspective on Saggies and money. Sagittarius has so much faith in the universe that a lot of times they are not the ones to sit down and budget everything and always look at every transaction on their bank account statement or on the online apps nowadays and see, oh, what did I spend? Oh, calculating things and making sure they're cautious. No, they have so much belief in abundance, which is so beautiful, that they don't always check that stuff. However, the universe is calling you, Sagittarius, okay, towards more organization and stability when it comes to your finances. All right. So Mercury there is definitely going to help you with getting that stuff in order. So that means if you need a new budget plan, Mercury can help you with that. If you need to organize your bills, you know, they've been piled up in the mail, just scattered. Now it's like, okay, Mercury in the second house, let's get it together, boo-boo. Okay, let's get these bills organized, figure out what needs to be paid, what can wait, how to prioritize things. Also ways of making more money. Saggies are another sign that can be working that overtime right now. So you guys could really, be working hard overtime in order to accumulate more money, or looking into a second job, a secondary source of income. So yes, it's really about that money. Some of you guys can have your mind more on spending, but let me tell you, Saturn is, if you are too frivolous with your funds, Saturn will be like, wow, pow, what did I tell you, Sag? And you're gonna be like, oh my God, why? Why Saturn? I thought I had a magical money tree and a genie. Oh my God. So yeah, still be cautious with your finances, Saggy, but Mercury is definitely going to help you to get all that stuff in order and organized. So mind on your money, money on your mind. So next up is Cappy. Cappy, sun, moon, or rising. How is Mercury in Cappy going to be helping you guys? Where are you going to be busy? So whenever Mercury enters your sign, it's also another one of those transits where your mind could be very Tasmanian devil, just, you know? So that means that you could be thinking faster, talking more. Your mind is also moving faster, and it could be hard for even you as a Capricorn, who's normally very cautious and you like to take your time and plan things out. Your mind could be moving too fast to where you can actually lose track of things, So definitely be mindful of that, Capricorn, but it is a good time to be so much more conversational. And I love Capricorn's humor, their sarcasm, their witty comebacks that they have. So you guys will be much more humorous too. I'm really hoping so, because I've had some grumpy Caps around me and I'm like, I'm about tired of it. Okay. You guys need some mercurial fun energy in your lives. So yeah, because especially during Cappy season, it makes Cappies like more serious, but Mercury's like the court jester, man. He just wants to woo and entertain and be silly and everything and just talk away. So Capricorns will have some of that energy. But just overall, you guys will be much more communicative, much more conversational, and a little bit more quicker with that stuff. So you'll have to watch it with missing details. All right. So next up is Aquarius. So Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising sign. How is Mercury and Capricorn going to be helping you guys from the 11th to the 31st of January? So this is going to be in your 12th house. So you guys already have all this Capricorn energy in your 12th house. Low key. A lot of Aquarians are low key. I notice even my Aquarian friends that are normally always on social media have been under the radar. You guys have been taking time out for yourselves to reflect on life, think about things a lot more deeply, and spend time alone, hopefully not in a depressing way, okay? Because 12th house transits, there's a heavy dosage of it. Some people, they get swallowed up by the deep water, in a way that makes them kind of like feel like they're sinking, and they're like, oh my God, life is just so difficult. So don't allow yourself to get that way, Aquarius. But Mercury is thinking. So this is the house of reflection, because you think of the 12th house, you think of the ocean, you think of water, and things can reflect off of the water. When you look in it, it's reflecting, right? So reflecting back on life over the last year, over the last however long, is Mercury in the 12th house. A really good thing for Mercury in the 12th house is, of course, getting in touch with your own spirituality a lot more prayer or meditation or whatever you use to connect to the divine source of power, to your ancestors or your spirit guides, whatever you believe in. Mercury in the 12th is so awesome for that. Also, 12th house energy is highly intuitive. So your intuition will be on point, Aquarius. So try not to be around negative people, because you will, like water, you'll catch all their crap. It'll pollute your personal waters here, okay? And then you'll be walking around negative Nancy, all grumpy, because somebody else's stank energy is around, just like polluting you. So be careful who you're around energetically. Be around good people if you feel like being around people at all, Aquarius. Good people, good vibes only. Yes, weird vibes. Aquarius is a sign of weird vibes. Be around your people, your fellow aliens, to give you the weird vibes that you love to just bask in, that makes you happy. Okay, no negative downer people, Aquarius. It's very creative energy too. So if you have creative work to do, art, if you're an artist, it's a good time to kind of be like in isolation, really being in the lab with your art, whether that's music or dance or art that requires drawing, painting, photography, video, all that stuff. Be in the lab, Aquarius, come up with some genius stuff for us. So next up is Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. How's Mercury and Cappy affecting you guys? So this is going to be in your 11th house. So Pisces, the 11th house is your fellow aliens. Hello. It's your friends. It's your crew. It's your group of people that you really feel the most connected to based on your common interests and you having the same personality traits that make you feel like, maybe I'm not an alien in this world. You know, maybe I'm not the only alien here at least. So Pisces, you guys are going to be all about your friends. All about your friends. I hope so. Oh my God, I haven't really hung out with my friends, my friends in a long time. And one of them is a Pisces. And I know she's been begging me like, oh my God, we got to go out for coffee. We got to go outside. Catch up, girl. I'm like, yeah, we do. So maybe when Mercury's in the 11th house, maybe we can do that, you know? So yeah, it is about your friends. You may hear from friends you haven't heard from in a long time. You may want to reach out to them yourself. Also, you could be very active on social media, Pisces, much more active than usual. And especially in those groups, like Facebook groups, for example, if you have like one that you're in with people that you share a common interest in, like if you have an interest in, I don't know, like racing your cars or like some sort of TV show or whatever it is that you like, you know, you'll want to communicate with those people more about the things you have in common. This is the house of the internet and genius ideas. So if you're a Pisces, you want to put out something new on the internet that's a genius idea. Good time for that. Good time for that, because this is preparing for the new moon in Cat too. All right. It's setting the stage for the new beginning to happen. So you want to put out things like a podcast or something, you know what I'm saying? Or a new YouTube channel, some videos, you know, anything on the internet. Start a new page, a new website. Good time to manage and organize that. Get it going so the new moon can push it out there. All right, Pisces. So that was it for the forecast of Mercury and Capricorn for all the signs. I hope it was helpful to you guys. And oh, you haven't chatted with your Pisces brother for a few years. Oh my gosh, Priscilla, you better. Maybe he'll reach out to you if you don't reach out to him with these 11th house transits. Hopefully so. Roy Purdy. Oh my God, I love him. He's an Aquarius rising? How do you know his ascendant? Anais, share with us, please. I love him. He is so funny. He's that guy. If you guys haven't seen him, he wears these like neon shades and like these old school like 80s like tracksuit jackets that are these bright colors. And he does these funny dances. I'm like, oh my God, I want to mimic his videos so badly. He's hilarious. I love him. And I'm an Aquarius, not an Aquarius, I'm a Uranus rising, Uranus in the first house. So that's my stuff. Anyhow, so next up, we're going to get into the coffee talk. We're going to talk about a celebrity couple. So if you don't care about celebrity couples and celebrity stuff, you just wanted to hear about you and your sign, and you're going to exit out, well, then peace. Maybe I'll see you next week. If I'm not here next week, guys, it's because I'm moving. I've told some of you guys already, I am moving. And the way my life is set up with Uranus in the first house, you see, is sometimes things suddenly just go bing in life and just take me somewhere else. So I'll try to be here next Friday if I can. If not, then I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. You know why. It's because of the whole moving thing. But I do offer readings. I'm still doing readings, and I love doing readings. So if you have not yet had a reading from me, I do love relationship, looking at couples like I'm about to do now and demonstrate. I look at 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, or 1 year transits, okay? Personalized to you. I don't use software. I just go through the transits and intuitively explain to you what you will be experiencing. I do career readings. I do all of it. So go to my readers page. It's below and also in the I button, one of those spots. All right. So, oh, hey, what's up, Pinky Star? You always show love, girl. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. So next up, we're going to talk about a celebrity couple. I'm going to screen share the chart. Okay. So Sofia Vergara, she is gorgeous. She's a Cancer. She is Colombian. She just got married a couple years ago to an actor named Joe. And like I said, I don't want to mess up that man's name, but you guys can look it up. Okay. So anyhow, we're going to look at their charts because somebody requested that I do. They were curious about their relationship. What makes their relationship work? So I have studied them a little bit. I really love to watch interviews with celebrities before I do like an analyzation of their natal charts. That way I get a feel for their actual energy, their personality, through what they're saying, their voice, their talking. Like I feel out their energy. And I love to just see how their personality that I'm seeing on video really matches up to their natal chart. and to the transits with whatever's going on in their lives. So pretty cool. So yeah, so I watched some interviews with them, and they are so cute. They're a little bit private in a way, a little private, but they actually have been married for 2 years, Sophia and her husband. And they're both very attractive people. OMG, like super attractive people. So let's take a look at their charts, shall we? First, we will look at hers and his, and we will look at what is the glue that bonds them together as a couple. Like, why do they like each other? What made them get together? You know, do they have any soulmate bonding parts of their charts that match up together that make them a couple that's like, oh, we have to be together? Speaking of, oh, hold on, before I get to them, you guys know, if you guys know, like maybe a couple months ago or something, I spoke on Nicki Minaj and Nas. Okay, I did their synastry, and I was like, I'm not sure if they're gonna last. They have a couple of points here. I can see why they like each other, but you know, I'm not sure if they're gonna be like getting married and all this stuff. They actually had some really good synastry contacts between them, but I just heard today that they have decided to split ways. I'm like, aw. You know, I've always suspected Nas to be a Capricorn rising. He just gives off a Capricorn vibe to me in so many ways, right? And the full moon that just passed was in Cancer. For Capricorn, especially Capricorn rising, full moon in Cancer, that's a breaking point of something to do with relationships, that I can't take this anymore. Okay, so yeah, that maybe my suspicion's correct, and Nas is a Cappy rising. Nikki is an Aquarius rising, and there's going to be an eclipse in Leo at the end of this month in her relationship house. So maybe these events are leading up to that. Or maybe Nas is a Cappy rising. We'll see. But unfortunately, they split. I thought they were cute together, but personally, I'm happy that Nas is single again, because you know what I'm saying? I think he's cute. Anyhow, just heard that today. Too sad, but whatever. All right, so now Sophia Vergara and Joe M. Let me show you their charts. Let's screen share. We'll look at hers. We don't have their birth times, guys. Just letting you know ahead of time. We only have their sun sign and all the other planets. We do not have a rising sign for either person. Okay. So here's Sophia's chart. So she's a Cancer. She was born July 10th, 1972. So she's about 45 years old, almost 46. But she looks still very young and gorgeous, right? So she is a Cancer sun and moon. So we don't have her birth time, but the moon moves about 12 degrees or so every single day. Okay, and it moves 1 degree every 2 hours. Just nerdy astrological facts. 1 degree every 2 hours. So if this is based on 12 noon, I would go back 6 hours, no, 12 hours, which would be 6 degrees, right? To midnight. Okay, so you take 17 degrees and you minus 6 degrees. So even if she was born right like at midnight on this day, she would still be a Cancer moon. And then you go 12 hours forward and 6 degrees forward to midnight, you know, that night after. So 17 plus 6 is 23. So she could be up to a 23-degree Cancer moon. So that's how you determine, if you don't have a birth time, if somebody's moon sign would still be, is it on a day that could change the sign, or is it on a day where it's definitely that sign? And she is definitely a Cancer moon. So she's a Cancer sun and moon. Uber Cancer. She exudes classic Cancerian woman energy. Her appearance is super Cancer. She's very endowed in the Cancer ruled area, you know, and she said she's all natural. And some people question that, but hey, with all that Cancer energy, especially with the moon too, I'm pretty sure she's telling the truth. Okay. Anyhow, Sophia Vergara. What's interesting, she has Venus in bubbly, bouncy Gemini. And that does show to a degree with how she expresses herself as a woman, but also her Venus is conjunct Saturn. So Saturn kind of weighs down that Gemini stuff a little bit to where it's not as Tasmanian devil and woo and all over the place. You know, she still is a woman who doesn't mind settling in a classic and traditional way. You know, if she really finds someone she likes. That's Venus conjunct Saturn. Also, Venus conjunct Saturn, women can be, you know, she does wear makeup and stuff, but from what I've seen pictures, she doesn't go super duper heavy on it, like on crazy eye shadows and eye makeup and stuff. She's very like classic, you know, woman, wears a red lipstick and like not too much on the eyes, you know. And Venus conjunct Saturn a lot of times can indicate someone who has more of a toned down look like that, but she's still very classically gorgeous. She has Mars and Mercury in Leo. And what I thought was funny was, you know, they, of course, when she was on a few talk shows, they were discussing the ring. Oh, we saw your fiance gave you this magnificent ring. And she said, oh, I guess he knows what I deserve. Deserve is a key word. When you hear people say that, they usually have some Leo energy somewhere, okay? Especially when it comes to material gifts. I deserve this. I deserve that. Leos tend to say that a lot, and she does have planets in Leo. So she feels she only deserves the best, and that's what she goes after. So with having Mars in Leo, Mars for a woman who dates men can determine type of men she's attracted to. She likes men who look great. They have great hair. They could be kind of flashy. And she said herself, she needs a man who is a fun person. She needs somebody who's fun. Mars here can definitely show that. Fun, childlike, that's Leo, okay? And Mercury, she needs someone who can talk to her in a way that they can joke around together and stuff. She needs that fun in her life. So, very interesting. She has North Node in Capricorn, so we shall remember that. She has South Node in Cancer, and you guys know she got married and had a child pretty young. She got married to her high school sweetheart, another dude named Joe, okay, when she was 18, and then she became a mother at 20. So that's fairly young. And having the South Node in Cancer can definitely do that. I know it's not showing on this weird astro theme, but she does have the South Node in Cancer. That means in a past life, she's already done the Cancer thing. She's been a mom, and she came into this life automatically, like just going with her default settings of motherhood and settling down, you know. And so a lot of times people who have South Node in Cancer or South Node in the 4th house, that's exactly what they do. They start out pretty young. I can definitely attest to that because I have the South Node in the 4th sign, and I became a mom at 18. So I thought right away, even when I was a teenager, that I had to be in a serious marriage, like immediately, as long as, you know, as soon as I was kind of old enough. So yeah, that's the South Node in Cancer, how that manifests. That's her chart, and she has Jupiter at 1 degree of Capricorn. Let's remember that too. So here is Joe Manganiello. Yeah. So here's Joe's chart. So he has Moon in Aries. Moon for a man is a feminine energy that they like. And once again, we could go back 6 degrees and go forward 6 degrees. He would still be an Aries moon without a birth time. Okay. So he likes a fiery, feisty woman. He feels comfortable with that energy. And yes, Sophia has it because she has planets in Leo in fire. All right. So that moon in Aries definitely shows that. Also, Sophia said that, you know, he's from Pittsburgh, and she said he's very obsessed with sports. Like he will wear Pittsburgh Steelers gear, like down to the underwears, okay? Like down to the socks, everything is his team. That's a total Aries thing. A moon in Aries, they're usually about sports, about their team, about their hometown. They're really patriotic. Yeah, you know. So that's his moon in Aries. It definitely shows. And he has Venus in Aquarius. That means he really does appreciate women who are different and quirky. And she is different from him. You know, he's from the US and she's from Colombia. So he likes, he's open to dating foreign women. Wow, interesting. I just realized something that I'll get to later. But yeah, he doesn't mind foreign women. And he has a Venus in opposition to Saturn. So he has Venus in a challenging aspect to Saturn, but it's still a Venus-Saturn influence that he doesn't mind a woman having, you know, so yeah, she does have that Venus Saturn in her chart. He has it in his chart. So he doesn't mind, you know, a woman who is kind of serious in nature when it comes to love and stuff like that. So Joe has Sun in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn. So he's got the Capricorn energy. And you know, Capricorn and Cancer are opposites. They're opposites, and opposites can work out in sometimes in this case, especially with these two signs, because Capricorn is the classic father paternal energy, take charge of the household and the family and the legacy and all of that stuff is Capricorn. And then Cancer is the classic maternal energy. I'll take care of home. I'll take care of the kids. I will cook for you. I will do this for you. I will do that for you. I'll take care of everything. That's the classic Cancer feminine energy. So especially because it's the Cancer woman and the Capricorn man, that could be something that for them, it works. It works. So he has Mars in Sag, and that's also why he could be a pretty fun and humorous dude, which she really digs that. So here's some synastry between them. That's pretty interesting. So the points that I wrote down. Okay. She has a North Node in Capricorn, 26 degrees, right? The North Node is a very karmic point in your chart. If anyone's personal planets come near your North Node, that can show a destined encounter. Doesn't always mean marriage, doesn't always mean, oh, they're my soulmate. It can give that feeling of you guys have a purpose behind you meeting and exchanging energy, but it doesn't always mean it's permanent. Just keep that in mind. So, but they do have some nodal contacts. Her North Node, his Mercury is conjuncted. Mercury is a planet more of like friendship and than love, though. You know, it's like, oh, you know, we're destined to be people that are connected. You know, we're friends. We can talk. We can have good conversations together. Also, another interesting synastry contact is her Jupiter is in Capricorn, and in some forms of astrology, they say that Jupiter can represent a husband for a woman that dates men. And Jupiter, 1 degree of Cappy, his Sun, 7 degrees of Cappy. So technically that is a conjunction. So Sun and Jupiter, I also find that when someone's Sun is conjunct another person's Jupiter, that they feel like that person lights up their life, you know, because Jupiter, remember, it could be this happy-go-lucky feeling of abundance and like, oh, everything is awesome in life, you know. So that person, the Jupiter person, can make you feel like that, like your life is lit up. So yeah, that's another good contact that they have between them. Also, look at this. Joe has North Node at 1 degree of Scorpio, and Sophia has, oh wait, oh, I read that wrong. I thought that was Scorpio. Never mind. Okay, but no, that North Node in Scorpio is important in their marriage, and I'll tell you guys why in a minute. Not with their synastry, but with their wedding day. What was the other thing? Okay, so yeah, he's got a little bit of fire, you know, he's got a little bit of fire energy. She has a little bit of fire. That's good. What else did I notice? Okay, I think that's the main points. Yeah, that's the main points that I wrote down. I would say one of the challenging aspects for them is their moons are squared. He has moon in Aries. She has moon in Cancer. So the moon is actually very important when it comes to marriage, when it comes to partnership, because most of the time, like 99% of the time, when you're married, you're with somebody, you live together, okay? And the moon is where you live, how you're comfortable at home. So she may like to just be very chill at home. Yes, she's got fire energy. She's got bouncy, bubbly Gemini. So she does like fun, but maybe home could be a sanctuary to her. She's a Cancer. The moon is in its home sign of Cancer. That means when they go home, they want to put their sweats on, their jammies on. They want to chill on the couch. They want to eat some good food. They don't want to do nothing, right? They just want to just chill. They may want some peace and quiet, or just the ambiance in the air should be very peaceful. But Joe is an Aries moon. So at home, she said she had to get used to the whole sports fanatic thing, because that's what he'll probably do. He probably yells and screams, woo, yeah, come on, baby. You know, all that stuff that people do when they are watching sports. So he could be kind of loud at home. He can expect things to be done and done right now, quickly, right away, you know. Aries moons, a lot of times these people, especially if they're hungry, it's like, okay, I'm hungry now. Like you need to cook the food on high or something, like make it right now, you know? Like they expect things to be done now. But she, with her Cancer moon, is probably like, well, I like to take my time. I like to, you know, make sure that I make the food with love and all that stuff. And he's probably like, yeah, whatever, skip that part. I just need something to eat now. So that's just a little example of how at home these two moons can act, and they square each other, you know, so that could sometimes be a challenge. You know, she wants peace. He wants it to be loud and buzzing with energy and hyped up and everything sometimes, you know. So those are the biggest things that I noticed within their chart. Now, what's also interesting here is their wedding day. I don't have the time. I just guesstimated it. But with Joe having the North Node in Scorpio at 1 degree, look at what degree the sun was at the day of their wedding. Isn't that interesting? The sun was conjunct his North Node. And so was Mercury and Saturn. Wait, no. Hold on. Wait a second. Is that Scorpio or Sagittarius? Oh my gosh. My brain is just moving too quickly with all these third house transits. Duh. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. No, there's some other context they had, not the North Node. Sorry, you guys. I'm not a dummy. I just, like I said, this third house stuff has my mind moving too quickly. They were all conjunct Sophia's Neptune. She has Neptune at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. And on their wedding day, the sun and Mercury and Saturn were all conjunct her Neptune. So that means that day was like a fairy tale to her for real. It was a good day to have a wedding, to feel so blissful and so in love and like in another world with your partner. Very beautiful day to have a wedding with all that Neptune stuff. And Saturn was in the mix to kind of still bring a sense of reality to all the Neptune fog, you know? So it's like, you know what you're getting into, lady, right? Like that's what the contact with her Saturn, I mean, with Saturn contacting her Neptune is asking, you know, on their wedding day. And then also look at the moon was in Aries on that day. So the moon was in the same sign as his moon. So that's a really auspicious transit to have a wedding. From what I've studied, is if the moon is in the same sign as like one of your moons or something, you know? So that was very beautiful energy on their wedding day to have. I know there's some other things going on, like some squares to transiting Neptune and stuff like that. But I didn't look too deeply into those. I just looked at a couple of points to show you guys how synastry works, how I look at just on a surface level, you know, what do I look at in a chart for people who are in love, and are they a good match? Now, as far as if this couple is a good match, I mean, I think so. They've got some similarities. They've got some differences that can work for them too. But with Hollywood, honestly, you guys, it's very hard to say. It is very, very hard to determine if Hollywood marriages will last, because you never know what can happen, because they live in such a Neptunian world to where it's like, you know, sometimes even if we look at their synastry, they can become so caught up in this, like, in maybe illusion and delusion, and maybe be too focused on things that are other than like the core of a relationship that can kind of break the marriage down. So it's really hard to say, but all I can say is they do have some good points in their synastry that makes them work out. They're romantic, they're cute, and they're good looking, ridiculously good looking people. All right, so, oh, yeah, you know, they could have connected with an astrologer for their wedding day. The only thing I would worry about is the squares to transiting Neptune, though. There was planets conjunct her Neptune, but then the squares to transiting Neptune could have been like, not sure about that. And the moon could have been conjunct Uranus, too. But we don't know the time and all that to really be able to determine that. Does sharing moons with someone tell you the compatibility, Brie? Yes, girl, they sure do. Moons are so important. We can talk about sun signs, Venus and Mars all day, but moon is super important with compatibility, because like I said, at home, if you decide to live with somebody, can you guys be comfortable together? Can you guys get along? What if you like peace and quiet and the other person likes a bunch of noise? You know, for example, I'm a Pisces moon. I like solitude. I need the time to be a spiritual person, do my spiritual work, be alone, uninterrupted. Even when I'm not working at home, I need peace. I need music. You know, I just need peaceful environment. But then I've got 2 Gemini moons in the house, and they like all the noise and and all this stuff, and the TV loud, and this on, and that device, bing, 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 bong. And I'm like, oh, really? So it's kind of disruptive to my Pisces moon peace that I like at home. And it can cause some tension sometimes between people when you live with them. And also with emotions, you know, like how she displays emotions. Sophia being a Cancer, it's different than an Aries moon. An Aries moon will be so quick to react emotionally, very fast. And as quickly as they reacted and got upset is as quickly as they're over it. But you know, a Cancer moon is going to have an excellent memory, especially an emotional memory. Okay. They're going to remember how those words that Aries may have blurted out in the moment made them feel. They're not going to get over it as quickly. So that's another thing, reason why moon is super important to look at in synastry. Don't sleep on that moon. Okay. Priscilla says, hubby is a Cancer. I like peace and quiet. So does he. Typical homebody Cancer. He takes care. Aw, I have a Cancer hubby too. And yeah, he could be like that sometimes. I'm messy, but an organized mess. My guy is a Virgo moon. You know those Virgos. You like your space. Yes. So if you live with a Virgo moon, you know they like things to go in a certain spot. And if you are, say, for example, a Gemini moon that doesn't care about putting things back in the same place, living with a Virgo moon, you guys can have a difficulty there, you know, that you got to try to compromise and work out. Darren says, I love it when sometimes someone's moon makes a trine to my moon. It's the best feeling. Friends are it is, isn't it? I hear you on that, Darren. Oh, your wife, you and your wife share the same moon, Betsy. Oh my gosh, lucky ladies. You guys are lucky with that. All right. So anyhow, that was it, guys, for today's coffee talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope gave you some sort of something to learn. You know, I'm all about that learning now with Saturn and Capricorn. So don't forget to go hit up my website, my webpage on astrolada.com. It's below. It's also in the little I information button if you would like to book a personal reading with me, for me to look at your chart, whether it's synastry, whether it's love, who you're compatible with, just on your own, career, transits. I do it all. And I'll be adding some new services very soon. So, oh, and also I may start doing something on the Astrolada Facebook page. Myself and also some of the other readers here on Astrolada, we're going to start being a little more interactive, maybe doing answering some questions for you guys, doing little mini live streams on the Facebook page. So I think some of them already do it, but more of us are going to try to join in on that. So if you haven't added Astrolada on Facebook, go at it. I may start doing something on there next week. So I hope to see you guys there too. All right. I'll see you guys hopefully next week as well, next Friday. So have a wonderful, awesome weekend. Take care. Peace. Love you guys. Thank you for being here.